we were talking about before you jumped on how the special teams coordinator gonna get fired in Green Bay because you don't see too often special teams in the playoffs lose you the game. They didn't single handedly lose it, but I mean, they San Francisco blocked the field goal and they scored a
And they
touchdown
scored the touchdown.
off
Yeah,
two special teams plays.
yep,
So
yep,
that's 10 points right there.
yep. He got to
So
take that fall.
oh yeah, I mean, Green Bay fans would be pissed too. Y'all brought this dude back after what happened. What y'all doing?
Before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to my
Yeah, back up. There you go.
yeah, to the greatest fraternity known to man. Yesterday was my 2 days ago.
Where the cane at?
I celebrated my. Oh yeah, I should have went and got that cane.
Yeah,
I celebrated my 25 years in Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
Speaking of Kappas, does your Kappa bros, do they watch?
No.
Okay. see you shouting it out and they ain't even watching.
They ain't watching. That's all right. I'm gonna give a shout out to my LBs. We 25 years in.
There we go.
Octon, Norristown alumni, Spring '97.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to
nobody.
So before we get into the conference championship game that we have this coming Sunday, I got a question for y'all, and it's just off the cuff. It don't have to be long. Y'all see it on the screen. Tom Brady. So I'm asking because after every season, we always hear Tom Brady say, "Oh yeah, I'll be back. I'm playing till I'm 45." He even brought up at a point, "Oh, I think I can do it till 50." But now this is the first time we've heard Tom Brady speak in terms of like he's ready to hang it up. Like he spoke to Giselle or he's had some type of epiphany or reality check. Like, man, my kids getting older. I need to be a great dad for them. I need to be a great husband to my wife. Somebody else, I have to let somebody else have a chance to play. Like all these things. So my question to you two, is this the end for Tom Brady?
Answer is I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's not him that wants to give it up. I think his family is kind of like saying, "Dad, this is it. You go for one more Super Bowl, and if whatever happens, you got to call it quits after this and spend time." That's just me speculating. Of course, I don't.
Right.
But I think the reason he mentioned that is like, well, I got to talk with my family. I think he hates the fact of how it ended, that he didn't get a chance to defend his title. But he also has a lot of controversy going on with the team. He had injuries, AB. It's going to be hard to bring the whole gang back like they did for this year. So this year was almost like let's just do one more time. Let's defend this. They brought all 22 starters back. I just don't know if they can do that again this year.
They kind of made it seem like.
What'd you say?
They kind of made it seem like this is it.
It was it, yeah. And so I think the pressure is probably more coming from his family. Like, come on, Dad, it's time to hang him up now. You done had your run. Let's just be a family now. And I think he wants to play, but he may have told his family this would be it. So I'm going to say yes. He's going to call it a day.
Isn't his contract up? Don't he need a new contract even if he's going to come back and play?
No, he got a year left.
He got a year left? Okay. Anyways, I think he could just be tired. I mean, a lot went down this year.
Yeah.
It just evolved around one player. Just one player.
AB.
Yeah. AB. A lot involved. A lot went down. He's probably exhausted of that. You know, AB came for his character.
Yeah.
Imagine being a quarterback still playing at a high level and the team released one of your top targets,
Right.
then you lose another top target. Playing Gronk was out, Godwin was out, then AB was out, Leonard Fournette was banged up, Mike Evans was banged up. I mean, God didn't even know if he knew what receiver was playing in every game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the offensive line was banged up. I think Tristan Wirfs over there limping in some games or whatever. And I mean, that takes a toll on a guy. To
Yep.
be 44 years old and have to deal with that, you just kind of like, man, I mean, I ain't 44 yet. I'm just 30. And then sometimes I'd be like, man, I
Oh,
don't see how I
freshman.
used to put up with this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he just might be a little tired. And to your point, it's going to be a lot of shape shifting in the off season. I
Yep.
don't think Chris Godwin going to be back. I don't think Gronk's going to be back. We know Gronk probably going to be determined by Tom Brady
Tom
himself.
Brady. Yeah.
We
Tom
know
Brady goes, he's
AB.
out.
Yep. We know AB ain't going to be there. It's going to be a whole different offense next year.
Yep.
And Tom Brady going to have to ask yourself, man, can I win with this offense?
I ran with this roster.
Can I win with
Right.
this offense? Because that was the reason why he went there to begin with, because of Mike
Yep.
Evans, Chris Godwin,
Roswell.
because of OJ Howard, because
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones, who actually fell off. It's funny because Ronald Jones was good, then he fell off when Tom Brady got there.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why he went there, and now he ain't gonna have that. So I think he plays. I don't think he's done.
Okay.
I just think he has a lot to consider.
A lot to think about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do like you do, BJ, and I'll break it down in percentages. So I think it's 40% Giselle and 60%. I think so. I'll just give you my answer. I think he's going to retire, and this is why. I think it's 40% Giselle. I'll say Giselle and family, but Giselle being first because
Right.
she's the one that's talking to him the most.
Correct.
So Giselle and family 40% and 60% because of what you guys are alluding to, the team.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys are talking about players, but don't forget, Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich could both be gone
Yep.
after this offseason.
Yep.
Then you would have to start with a new offense, and then your defense is going to be losing a couple key guys. JPP, one of them. And then on offense, like you said, Godwin's not coming back. They don't have the money. I think Ronald Jones and Fournette are gone. I think they're both gone, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Gronk is gone. Gronk just said today, if you ask me if I was coming back or not today, I'm going to tell you no, I'm retired. So he's not coming back, in my opinion. Like you said, AB's out. They don't have a lot of money and a lot of wiggle room.
Correct.
All those guys they signed the 1-year deals, they're going to be leaving. So that's my percentage. So I think we didn't expect it this quick, but I think it's going to be a wrap.
Yep.
So tables turn that fast.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey.
So conference championship, baby. The 49ers at the Rams. BJ. Rams -3.5. Over under 46.
My original pick was to, of course, have Green Bay in the Super Bowl. So now I have to adjust that. And I'm going to go chalk here and just say that the 49ers run finally comes to an end. They're finally going to bump into a team that's now clicking on all cylinders as far as offense, defense, the pass rush.
Von Miller.
Somebody got to go Betty Baba.
I know, right? It's getting late. But at any rate, their pass rush is going to get to Garoppolo. I think they're going to be able to stop the run with Deebo Samuels. I think it's just going to be one of those days. It's going to be in great weather, so it won't be – they're going to have to put up points in order to keep up with the Rams. And I just don't think they're going to have enough firepower to do it. The only way they can get this done, if it's an ugly game like it was with Green Bay, the weather's got to be bad. It's rainy. I don't know. Is there a dome in SoFi?
Nope.
Like, bro, they in Los Angeles.
Nope.
Yeah, I know it's in Los Angeles, so chances of rain is 0. So
It's
I
gonna be
just
dry
don't know
everywhere.
if they ugly it up, leading time of possession, and just run the ball and all those good things, and maybe Matthew Stafford throws a couple picks their way to help them. Other than that, I got them winning this easily. Actually, they cover. I think they win by 7 or even more. So I'm taking the over. I'm taking the Rams plus the minus the 3.5, and it's the over 46. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take the over on this 27. Wait, what's 27-17? That's under, right?
Yeah, that's under.
Yeah, about 27-17. I'm taking the under.
Okay. All right, I'll go Deiron. So key players for me in this game. Key players. Because I looked at, so first of all, the 49ers have won 6 straight against the Rams. Very important to know. Um, I looked
That is
at
true.
huh?
I said, "Oh yes, that is true."
Yes, they've
I'm
won 6
changing
straight
now.
against
Let
the
me
Rams.
stop.
And I looked at both games. Key players for me, Nick Bosa. In both games, he dominated. Nick Bosa had 1.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 5 QB hits in both games. So he dominated. Eric Armstead also dominated. Not as great as Bosa, but the D line was affecting Matthew Stafford. Fred Warner is a dog. He's covering sidelines. And Debo Samuel, in both games, he had a total of 5 touchdowns. And he had a passing touchdown. He's running all over him. He's catching the ball. He I mean, they got to find a way to slow that dude down. That's the Swiss Army knife, the jack of all trades. You got to key in on Debo. You slow down Debo, you got a shot. If you protect Stafford, you got a shot. Also, I looked at both of these games and found out the time of possession, San Francisco dominated. First game, 39-20. Second game, 37-31. So they're controlling the rock and they're being efficient. They're not turning the ball over when they play these teams in the regular season. This or the Rams, not teams. So the keys for the Rams, can they get pressure like they just did against Brady and make Garoppolo be turnover prone? That's key for them. You don't want them to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball and just chew the clock and keeping Stafford and them boys off the field because they got a night. I know in the second half they were awful against the Bucks, but the offense has been clicking. So that's to me that's the key. You just want to make sure that you're not going to be able to stop the 49ers. They're going to run the ball, but get them off the field on third down. Make them kick field goals. So, and you got to be efficient, Matt Stafford. In both games against the 49ers this year, he threw 4 picks.
Mm.
Jimmy Garoppolo outperformed him. His QBR was higher than Matthew Stafford's in both games combined. So you got to outperform Jimmy G. You got to pressure Jimmy G. Make him force him to have turnovers and get them on off the field on third down, and you'll have a shot. With all that being said, I am going to go with the Rams. I do not think this
What?
will be 7 in a row. I do not think this will be 7 in a row for the Niners. I think it's going to be 2 back-to-back years where both teams will be playing at their home stadium in the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay did last season. If the Rams win this game, like I'm predicting, it'll be them this season at SoFi for the Super Bowl. So I have the Rams covering and winning by 10. Over under, I have the score being 29-19. So yeah, that's over. That's slightly over. So that's it. Ryan, what you got?
how you was talking about
I
about
know
40
his whole soliloquy was on the
right
Niners.
about how the
After last
49ers
I'm
were
giving
so
the keys.
effective.
Come on, man. Let me get a breakdown in the keys.
I understand
I'm
that, but the
unbiased.
whole your whole debate to
It
this
wasn't.
point,
I had keys for the Rams too.
not as much as man, you basically gave the 49ers all the keys, bro. I'm thinking you about to pick the 49ers to win the game.
I
So all
did
of a sudden you
too.
did a whole 180 and picked the Rams, like, oh wow, whoa, that shocked me.
What you think? What do you think? What do you
All right,
think?
so
Exactly. What do
so
you think?
anyways, I think Jimmy Garoppolo gonna turn the ball over even if you pressure him or not. Remember the only interception he had in the Green Bay Packers game, he bought time. Dude was standing there and threw the ball right into the hands of the defender in the end zone. So I don't think that you got to pressure Garoppolo to have him throw interception. I just think you got to put the ball in his hands, which means you have to stop the run. You got to make them throw the ball. I think to me, if you could take out their running game, or at least not gonna take out their running game, but at least stall it, like get like a third down and long or a third down and manageable or whatever. Put that ball in Jimmy Garoppolo's hand, make him make a decision. He'll probably give you the ball. He'll probably say, "Take it. You can have it. It's yours." But anyways, I went against uh I went against curses last week when I took the Packers over Aaron Rodgers over the 49ers. I think I'm gonna go against it again today because the Rams right now at this moment are playing at an all-time level. The defense is playing great, lights out. Anytime you can do that to Tom Brady early in the game is I mean, you can't ignore that. And Matthew Stafford is getting confident, more and more confident. And the more games he has with Odell not even being his number one receiver, because we know Cooper going to somehow miraculously get open, find a way to get behind the defense. I swear, and I'm not racist, these white receivers, because the Patriots had one. They just get open. Like they don't burn you downfield. They not great route runners. They
Well, I take
just
that
get
back. They are great
open.
route runners.
Not. I mean, all right. So when I say great route runners,
Some of them
I'm
from the Patriots were.
oh yeah. Well, you gotta be. you gotta be. But they just get open, and for some reason they're just always available when you need them.
Right.
But then I think Matt Stafford, learning where Odell's going to be, learning on top of him and Cooper's, 1-2 punch, and then we ain't even talking about the tight end yet. And if they can run the ball, then we talking about total domination. Now I don't think they're going to completely dominate the 49ers. The 49ers do have a great defensive front, and they will put pressure on Stafford, and that's what I'm anxious to see. Is Stafford gonna have another game where he don't turn the ball over, but he puts up great numbers offensive game? Stafford can give me another at least 250, 2 touchdown game. I think that's a winnable game for them. The 49ers haven't put up points. They've won games. They've made plays. They've done enough to win games, but they haven't put up points. And that is the only reason why I'm taking the Rams over San Francisco, because San Francisco hasn't put up points. The Rams can put up points, and they can stop you defensively. Maybe not every possession, but they can get some stops. The 49ers is Debo, Eli Mitchell, and then you kind of waiting for some other guy to kind of step up. I mean, Kittle, to this point, hasn't really done much. So I'm taking the Rams in a 2-score game, maybe just 10 points. And I'm just taking the Rams just because of that reason. 49ers can't put up points. Rams can.
Another reason I'm taking the Rams is because
Give us some more keys.
Trent Williams isn't healthy, so that's Von Miller's gonna eat beyond
Hey,
that.
you know what? You know what? A lot of people was actually taking the Cowboys in that game because their left tackle was playing. Tyron Smith was playing.
And
So that exuded more confidence in Cowboys. Cowboys said. Because when Tyron Smith plays, the run game is solid. You know what I'm saying? They win more games. When Tyron Smith don't play, it's a little bit not there, and yeah. So I just had to throw that in because he said Trent Williams. Like, Trent Williams is playing. Oh, Trent Williams isn't playing. Oh.
Like I said, Cincinnati's first AFC Championship game since 1989. Joe Burrow, and only his second NFL season, is debuting in the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes, this will be his fourth AFC Championship game in 5 years. That dude just incredible start to a career.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City -7, over under the same as it was last week with Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Kansas City, 54.5. BJ, what you got?
Simple. KC. Enough said. No. KC. I'm going with the more experienced quarterback. I know Joe Burrow is hot right now. He and his team with Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon, and they getting it done down there in Cincinnati. I get it, but this is Patrick Mahomes, and I think he's finally found his groove. I will say it's going to be a high-scoring game. For some strange reason, Kansas City's defense has reverted back to the defense of the earlier in the year, and they can't stop a cold right now. So it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Cincinnati will score on this team, no doubt about it. But I just think when it comes down to it, and it probably will come down to it, Patrick Mahomes is going to be the difference in this game. I mean, as long as they got the cheetah, I mean, did you see the way he broke open that game with one pass across the middle and took it to the house? When push comes to shove, you got Travis Kelce. I mean, and then Clyde Edwards-Helaire came back and was balling a little bit last game. So besides their defense, I think their offense is clicking on all cylinders. I'm going 31-24. Take the over. But KC wins by a touchdown. That would be a push at that point, huh?
That would be a push. Got it over, but it'd be a push. Gotcha. All right.
I need that 7.5. 6.5.
Right. All right.
31-24, yeah. I guess that means Cincinnati will cover, but I don't win anything on that.
Okay, so I have, first of all, key. This is a key for me. Tyrann Mathieu is in concussion protocol. That is very important.
It is.
Very. Anchor of the secondary. He made sure everybody is in place. And the reason why it's so key for this game, not only was it key for last game, but they still got out of it. But these two teams played in the regular season, and they couldn't stop nothing in the pass game. And that was with him on the field. If he not there, whoo. So this is the reason why I'm gonna go with Kansas City, even with that being said. Because I'm looking at strictly the trenches. Cincinnati's O-line is trash. They are horrible. And you got Chris Jones and Frank Clark in the coach meetings this week just salivating. They just ready. They can't wait to this game. Because they might not get 9 sacks like Tennessee did, but they gonna get back there. they gonna move them off spots, and they gonna make them sweat. They gonna make them nervous. So I think that could force a couple rush throws, a couple forced throws, may cause an interception, may get a turnover out of it. But I think that's the key. Just trying to beat up that O line, that horrible O line. And we already know Kansas City offense is gonna put up. Patrick Mahomes is averaging in the playoffs. He's averaging 34 points a game. And the other reason I'm picking them is because Patrick Mahomes has only lost twice in the playoffs since he started, since he debuted in the playoffs. You know who that was to? To the GOAT. He lost twice to Tom Brady. Nobody else has beat this man. And I'm not about to pick a upstart Cincinnati team in their first AFC championship game to beat Kansas City. That would be a wild upset if it happened. So yeah, I'm going with Kansas City. Now would a cover? You know what, BJ? I think you own to something with this push. I can really see it really being by 7. But my gut tells me that the final score will be 35-30 KC. 35-30.
Okay.
Slightly over.
Covers.
Slightly over. Yeah, and yes. So take the points. All right, Deiron.
It's gonna be a new AFC North team in a Super Bowl. Yes, I'm taking Cincinnati over Kansas City. And here's why.
Wow.
I'm gonna go to BJ point that he made when he said Kansas City's defense reverted back to the defense that they were in earlier in the season.
Yep.
Now, remember, Kansas City's defense was playing great before they lost to Cincinnati, and they wanted to blitz and play man and leave their cornerbacks on islands. And
we all eliminated Cleveland.
We all know what happens. I mean, can you leave Cleveland out of this for 1 week? We're not in the playoffs.
Everything always comes back to
it's over. I mean, come on, man. Next year. Maybe next year. This happens every year. You should be used to it. You should be used to it. You got upstart Cincinnati. They only took their quarterback 2 years to get to where our quarterback want to be. Anyways.
Exactly.
Cincinnati can run the ball and they can throw the ball and they can do it at the same time.
Yep.
That's something that's something a lot of teams in the playoffs haven't been able to do. Run the ball and throw the ball at the same. Joe Mixon is just as effective as Joe Burrow. And I would take that, because the running game travels, and if you could pass, that's hard to beat. However, the defense will get stops. The defense will get a few stops. I mean, it don't matter in the grand scheme of things when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, because we all just seen what he did in 13 seconds a couple days ago. However, the stops will matter because that will allow Cincinnati to get up on top. I feel like the defense will create an opportunity for Cincinnati to take the lead. Cincinnati will take the lead, and even if they go back and forth, Cincinnati will always have that, we already had the lead, so we're going to take the lead back. I think the game ends in a field goal, 33-30, Cincinnati, and a great game between dueling quarterbacks. I just think Kansas City defense going up against this high-octane offense who can beat you both ways just won't be enough. And then they bet not play Cincinnati the way they played them in that game where they're going to blitz and then leave everybody on islands. Because
how about that?
Cincinnati they don't only have just 3 receivers. I mean, they got a tight end as well. I mean, the tight end don't really get a lot of credit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you got Jamar Chase over there getting ungodly numbers every game or whatever. But the tight end is a pretty good option when he needs to be. So I'm taking Cincinnati. I'm sorry. I'm taking. It's not because I'm from Ohio. It's just because I like how they play, man. I like how they've been playing, and they play. To me, they play better on the road.